Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Dharma's released 3 new ice dye colors, so let's check them out and see what they look like. I'm going to do some incline twists for these shirts because I really think that's one of the best ways to see all the cool color splits. These dyes were designed or created especially for ice dyeing, so I'm expecting some really cool color splits. I purposely haven't looked at their color swatches though. I did glance at them, but I haven't really paid close attention to them, so I don't entirely know what each of these colors is going to look like. To keep straight which color I'm placing on which shirt, I'm going to use 3 different sizes of shirts. I'm using an extra large, a large, and a medium, and I'm going to do the shirts in that order. For the extra large and the large shirt, I'm going to grab an area just below the armpit of the shirt, pinch that area, and then I'm going to start to twist the shirt. This is a really simple design, but honestly, I think it is one of the easiest designs to do to see what really cool color splits a dye color has. As the dye runs down that shirt and down that long fold or long twist, the dyes will separate out and you'll get to see lots of cool color splits. Once I have the shirt twisted, I'm going to place it down inside of a piece of vinyl guttering. Then, so that the shirt doesn't slide all the way out of the guttering, I'm going to tie a piece of kite string down at the end of the shirt, and I'm going to use a little metal clip which I purchased from the Dollar Tree to clip the kite string to the end of the vinyl guttering. Okay, the last shirt is a size medium, and for this one, I'm going to grab the corner of the shirt and begin to twist from there. So for these shirts, I'm going to apply the dye over the top of the ice. And I'm going to add a layer of ice to the top of each one of the shirts. Right now, I'm leaving the shirts flat on my table. I'm going to incline them in just a moment though. To incline the shirts, I'm going to place one end of the vinyl guttering down inside of a plastic tote. I'm going to leave the other end of the vinyl guttering hanging over the edge. That's going to place the shirt at an incline. I'm going to keep these shirts in the same order for everything that I do. I'm starting with the extra large, followed by the large, and then the size medium shirt. Once I have the shirts inclined, I'm going to go ahead and touch up the ice just a little bit. If I see any blank areas that don't have ice or my ice has slid down once I incline the shirt, I'm going to go ahead and fix that ice before I apply the dye. When I do a design like this, I really don't like to come back and add more ice if I can avoid it. There are times when maybe I have to do that, but for the most part, I like to only apply one layer of ice to shirts where I apply the dye over the top of the ice. Okay, so I'm starting with the extra large shirt, and over the top of the ice, I'm going to apply black ice. Then I'm going to add an additional sprinkle of dry soda ash over the top of the dye. On the size large shirt, I'm going to add Warrior Princess, and after I'm finished applying the dye, I'm going to add a little more additional dry soda ash over the top as well. Lastly, over the top of the size medium shirt, I'm going to add Avalon, followed by a little bit of additional dry soda ash. After applying dye to all the shirts, I placed them aside to allow the ice to melt. And I came back a little while later and noticed that I had just a few areas of undissolved dye left sitting on the shirts. I found with this design, if I will take some soda ash solution that I have inside of a spray bottle and I spray those areas with that soda ash solution, it helps to dissolve those chunks of color, and I don't have quite as many blobs of color left on my shirt after it's finished. So that's what I did. And I also took and placed some plastic totes underneath the ends of the vinyl guttering that are hanging over the edge of the tote. That way, just in case anything happens to fall off the end of this guttering, it's not going to make a mess on my floor or on my table. Honestly, I really don't have a problem with a bunch of stuff falling off the edge of the guttering, but this is just kind of an in-case thing. Thankfully, it's never happened. I left the shirts for probably about 3 days after all the ice melted before I began rinsing them. And I rinsed them all the same exact way. I took them to my utility sink and I started rinsing them in cold water to rinse out the soda ash. Then because they're not tied, I really just untwisted the shirts and took the piece of kite string off the end, warmed the water up to hot, and continued rinsing in hot water to rinse out the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. I'm also going to rinse the shirts in the same order that I dyed them in. So the first one that I'm rinsing is the extra large black ice. This shirt is the size large Warrior Princess, and when I'm looking at this shirt, still rolled up like this or twisted up like this, it just mainly looks to be kind of pinkish and orangey yellow colors. But wait when I go ahead and I untwist the shirt. I was shocked at all the cool colors on the inside. It was definitely a surprise. Instead of going ahead and rinsing these shirts in hot water for a long time, I usually go ahead and soak them. And to do that, I run some really hot water in my utility sink, add a little bit of Blue Dawn dish soap to the water, place the shirts inside, and just allow them to soak. When the water cools off, I change it out, and I continue that soaking process until my water is remaining almost clear. Lastly, I'm going to rinse out the Avalon shirt, which is the size medium. After soaking the shirts, once the water is remaining almost clear, I'm going to go ahead and place all 3 of the shirts into my washing machine, and I'm going to wash them using a hot water cycle along with a little bit of Dharma's professional textile detergent. Okay, so all the shirts have been washed, dried, and ironed, and let's see what they look like. Let's start with the black ice, which is the size extra large shirt. And what do you guys think? I think this one looks really cool. I love this color combination and the color splits are absolutely gorgeous. These darker kind of grayed out blues remind me of storms. So it reminds me of either a stormy sea or just a stormy sky. And paired with the darker purples, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And you know I love the dye movement on these incline twists. How the dye just flows down the shirt, and I think this one doesn't disappoint. I think it's beautiful. So in this shirt, I'm getting purple, hints of pink, blue, gray. I even have a couple little hints of, I don't know, kind of a yellowy type color. I really think this color is stunning. Okay, so now let's look at the next color, which is Warrior Princess. And this color was a huge surprise to me. Like I said, I think it's fun to go in with no expectations, where I have no idea what the dye is going to do and I just let it do its thing and judge it based upon that. And that's what I did with these three colors. So I was really surprised when I untwisted that shirt and I saw the greens and the blues and the other colors in this color. And I think it's absolutely gorgeous. For this shirt, I ended up with various shades of mauve colors, kind of a little bit of darker mauves, some green, and the green is more like, I would consider it kind of a spring green, more of a yellow green than a blue green. And then I got all kinds of various shades of blue, a few purples. I do have a few darker spots on this shirt. Like I said, I went ahead and sprayed those spots, but this is the shirt that I had the most spots left over on the shirt after the dye or the ice melted. This was the one with the most undissolved dye. So I do have several spots on this shirt. But I think that the dye splits and the dye movement on this shirt are absolutely fantastic. They are so pretty, and this color was just such a surprise to me. Okay, so now let's move on to the size medium shirt, which is Avalon. And what do you think about this color? Because I think this one is really cool too. I love the greens. I have a pretty bright green. Then I've got kind of tealish colors, blues, purples, just so many pretty blues and greens in this shirt. And all the colors are so bright and vibrant. You know, I'm not getting a whole lot of pastel-y look to this particular dye. It's pretty vibrant. I also like the dye streaking up the shirt because I started the twist down in the corner. I think that looks pretty cool too. So I know I've said this before with the other two colors, but I think this color is absolutely magnificent. I mean, I just really love the color splits, and I think it's a really pretty color. Okay, so let's look at all of them together. So when you see them all side by side, do you have a favorite? Does one of them jump out at you and really just kind of speak to you, that color? Because I'll be honest, I don't have a favorite with this group. You know, with the other two groups that they have released, there's been one that I kind of favored over the other two, but these three are just so pretty. I don't know that I can choose a favorite between them. And I love these new ice dyes. You know, several people are making ice dyes now, which are basically just the fiber reactive dyes that they mix them specifically to get all of these cool color splits. And I really love working with these ice dyes. I still do a little bit of liquid dyeing, but for the most part, I really prefer the ice dyeing. And so these colors made specifically for ice dyeing are great to use as centerpiece colors in a design. I don't know that I would probably put all three of these colors on a shirt together where they split as much as they did on these shirts, because I think that would probably be a lot. But like with the black ice, I think it would be really cool to pair that color with maybe some grays, some darker purples, few like navy blues. I think that would be really cool. The Warrior Princess, I mean, there are so many colors you could pair that one with. Some greens, I think like chamois would look really cool with that color because there's a little bit of that color in Warrior Princess. Avalon is just pretty much any of the teals or blues. Purple would be really cool to put with that color. Just make each one of these colors kind of the showcase of a shirt. That's what I like to do with these cool ice dyes. And it's important to remember that they're not going to split exactly the same on every design that you do. You know, like I said, with this design, the fabric is a long piece of fabric, and so the dye has a long way to travel down and go ahead and split into the various colors. If you use this in another design, you may not end up with as many colors as I've ended up with in these shirts. It also depends too on what fabric you're using. You know, these colors can look very different on rayon, on other various fabrics that you can use for ice dyeing. So I really love all these new colors. Honestly, I think this is my favorite batch yet that Dharma has released. But what do you guys think about them? Do you like them? Do you have a favorite? Please drop me some comments down below and let me know. And if you've enjoyed the video, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it and if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'll hit the bell, you'll receive a notification whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.